urgent action in Gaza, saying the suffering has reached unimaginable levels as famine unfolds. They're urging Israel to immediately open all crossings into Gaza and allow established aid groups to operate there. Gaza's health ministry says 5 more people have died from starvation and malnutrition in just 24 hours. Now, the humanitarian crisis could get much worse if Israel moves to take over Gaza City in an effort to defeat Hamas. Today, the Palestinian UN ambassador thanked European countries, including Spain and Germany, for going beyond calls for a ceasefire.
What is really significant that Europe is now acting in a practical way and thinking in a practical way, in a fast way, that should be complemented by all other countries in order to bring Israel into compliance. We hope that we can succeed in not allowing them to execute the plan that they declared, but this requires more efforts, more pressure, more mobilization.
Oren Liebman is in Jerusalem. I mean, certainly a lot of pressure coming from Europe and also internally, Oren, on expanding the war effort there in Gaza.
Absolutely. And you see what looks like a very coordinated effort to try to increase the pressure as much as possible to see if there is a potential to head off what Europe and frankly much of the world sees as an unfolding a catastrophic situation in which Israel could or would occupy and take over Gaza City. The humanitarian crisis, the cases of starvation, that in and of itself is alarming enough. That's clear from the letter we see from 24 countries, most in Europe, although it also includes Australia, Japan, and the European Union itself. They call on more aid to flow in and for Israel not to restrict humanitarian organizations and non-governmental organizations. I'll read you one line from this letter. Quote, all crossings and routes must be used to allow a flood of aid into Gaza, including food, nutrition supplies, shelter, fuel, clean water, medicine, and medical equipment. These foreign ministers from these countries said in this letter, clearly pushing for more. Israel has allowed these airdrops. We saw 5 countries drop about 97 pallets of aid, according to the Israeli military, throughout the day. And we've seen drops like that over the course of the past 2 weeks or so. But it's clearly not enough. And that comes across as the message from Europe. The key question is, how much leverage do they have for these changes to take effect? Frankly, the belief is that it's the U.S. that needs to put that pressure on Israel to make sure more aid gets in. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel have repeatedly claimed there is no starvation crisis in Gaza. That, as the Ministry of Health says, 5 more people died just today, bringing that total to 227, including 103 children. President Donald Trump himself said fairly recently that there was, quote, real starvation in Gaza. So the concern is there, and now the eyes are on Israel to see how they respond and if they push forward with the takeover of Gaza City. And frankly, Max, it very much looks like that's the direction this is headed in, as stated by the Security Cabinet.
Yeah, it does. Oren, thank you.